Hey there, welcome to Main Street Living. I am Cheryl Nelson.
Hey, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Alvari.
So good to see you both today. We have such a fun show, a lot to it, so we're going to get right to it. In fact, Halloween is just around the corner. We'll talk about some fun trick-or-treating ideas and also take you to a pumpkin fest at a gorgeous resort.
That's right, and we're going to take a ride in America's greatest sports car.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, I'm sure
I love
that Quincy's excited for that one. Yeah. And we'll have to talk about Cheryl's car, I'm sure. But before we do any of that, we're going to have on an animator we've had on Main Street Living before, who just wants to make sure that everybody has a hero that they can look up to as well. All of that and the pumpkins and more coming up on Main Street Living. Welcome back into Main Street Living. We all have heroes, right? But they might be our parents. They might be, the Batmans, the Supermans, the Caped Crusaders of the world. But especially for kids, it's important to have a hero that you can look up to and relate to.
That's right, Danielle. And our next guest, he wanted to make sure his kids could read about heroes who looked up, well, who look like them, of course. And so he took matters into his own hands, and he ended up with Heroes of Color. So let's welcome back author and animator David Heredia to the show. How you doing there, David?
All right, what's going on, man? Good to see you again.
Hey.
Likewise. So, David, the reason why you started the Heroes of Color is pretty cool, but why did you start the Heroes of Color?
Heroes of Color was born mainly because I wanted to make sure that my children were getting, the cultural education that was missing in school. And it was very important for me to ensure that my kids felt confident and valued, and just that anything is possible, because they were seeing other folks who were doing these remarkable things who weren't necessarily celebrities or athletes. These were people, ordinary people by, our standards, who were just accomplishing incredible stuff. So,
yeah.
That's awesome. And you've gone beyond comic books and you're focusing on education. Why are you putting all of your energy into this right now?
It's funny when you see the impact your work makes on somebody, whether it's a child or an adult, that's your GPS. That's what tells you you're going in the right direction. And for the first time in my life, I started to see the impact that my work was having on kids and on parents. So I dropped everything else and just made that my priority. So that really was my focus.
Yeah. And people are focusing here recently on Hispanic Heritage Month. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And you've started a new series called Heroes of Latin America. So tell us about that focus, man.
Yeah, so I mean, it's part of the same series, Heroes of Color, but what it's going to be a 15-minute video. All of the other videos are 3 minutes. But this one is 15 minutes. And, I'm super excited about it, because every year for Hispanic Heritage Month, as an Afro-Latino, I never really saw a lot of heroes that looked like me highlighted. Although I understand the origin of Hispanic Heritage Month was really focusing on just a few countries who got their independence. So it wasn't about all of them. It was just about those countries, but it's evolved. Right? We're always evolving. So as it evolved, I wanted to make sure that, we have a level playing field here. So my heroes are, all 30 of them are Afro-Latino, probably not household names that you might have heard of. But it just, it was something that was so incredibly exciting for me to do. And when I mentioned it to a couple of people, they were like, I've never heard of it being celebrated in that fashion. So it's really exciting.
Hold up, tell me, I'm amazed now. I'm a Marvel movie fan, and you have 30 heroes. That's more than the Marvel characters, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I have some of them pulled up on my screen, and as I was researching these names, I was like, I easily could have landed about 100.
Wow.
And it's like, how can you tell somebody's life story in a couple of seconds? You really can't. But my hope is that it's not just enough to pique the interest of a child to want to do this research, but also the parents and educators who might feel like, hey, you know what? I may want to bring this subject into my classroom now, because as much as I want to focus on getting the kids excited, I need to get the adults excited about this too.
True.
You know, specifically teachers and administrators who might feel like, hey, you know, maybe we can do a different spin on Hispanic Heritage Month this year and add some of these folks. You know, so it's always an evolution of, you know, just making sure that I'm piquing the interest of you know, different age groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with 30 heroes that you're featuring there, tell us about some of these people.
Well, so it's 15 men, 15 women, and I try to grab one from each country. And
Aw.
so, for example, in the Dominican Republic, there's a gentleman named Mauricio Baez who was a organizer. He was a union worker. He pretty much organized all of the unions and the sugarcane that
Mm.
worked in the sugarcane industry, and helped them because they were going through all of these just issues. And very smart for his time, in order to organize all of these people, he used the newspapers to advertise and get people to come in together. And they started the strike. You know, it was like in the 1940s. And I mean, he was able to make so much progress just by doing that. You know, I mean, it caused a lot of problem for the government who were trying to oppress these folks. But so he's one guy. I found an artist from Mexico, Julia Lopez, which was a gem, because I didn't even know that there were Afro Mexicans. So she was unique in that for her era during the muralist movement, she was painting characters that depicted, you know, people of African descent, which is not common. You know, a lot of these countries, one of the very similar things that they all share is they try to repress any type of people who have openly expressed their, you know, love for their African ancestry and their heritage. They try to push them out of, you know, the limelight. You know, and it's like, you think about Brazil. Brazil had the majority of the enslaved people come into that country, more than the United States, more than the Caribbean. They had the majority. Yet every time you would see heroes, you'd see anything representing Brazil, they were almost always light skinned. So it was like, that's interesting to me, you know? So it's just bringing these people out, telling these stories, getting them out, getting people excited. You know, and hopefully it will be something, it will be my best work, because as I wrote the script, I already felt it. Like my body tingled
Aw.
when I was writing that script. So it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. And we certainly do appreciate you coming on the show. Obviously, that's why all these heroes represent all types of kids. And really quickly, can you tell us where we can find more of your information and more of your work?
Absolutely. You can find my work at heroesofcolor.com.
Okay.
I'm also on Instagram at _heroes of color. And
Awesome.
thank
Thank
you
you.
Alright.
again for continuing to bring me back and helping to keep my story alive, because that's the fuel that keeps me going. So thank you
You
so
got
much.
it.
I appreciate it.
Oh, we need more people like you. Thank you so much for everything that you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Quincy, switching gears a little bit when we come back, would you like an adult beverage? What do I have in here? We're going to share a unique brew coming up.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, ladies, y'all probably already know I'm not a beer drinker. I'm not really a drinker at all unless I'm peer pressured, but I understand the craft beer industry has grown by leaps and bounds. And now it seems you can find a great local brew in every region across the US, right?
Mhm.
Yes, and I'm definitely a beer drinker, especially when I want to go out on the town more so. And most of these successful breweries started at home as homebrew operations, similar to these misfits who are mashing up craft beer and punk rock. Let's take a look.
Well, Three Punk Ales is kind of like the brainchild of three of us, myself, Kevin Lewis, my partner, and John Marshall, my partner. John Marshall and myself went to school here in Chula Vista and Bonita. Grew up playing soccer and being in punk bands, and kind of homebrewing the latter part of our high school careers. Circled back, decided to throw the 3 things we did as youngsters in the blender, and out came 3 Punk Ales. We started with 4 core beers when we initiated the brewery. Now we're a little higher, probably like closer to 6 or 7 core beers. All the names usually derive from some sort of musical reference as it relates to like a song that we like. There's a beer called Kill the Poor, and Kill the Poor with the U, P-O-U-R, it's an old Dead Kennedy song, so we kind of meshed it so it would fit for what we do, and people love that song, people love the beer, and people love what we do with it.
So when we first opened, we opened with the first beer that I brewed was the La Flama Blanca, which was our pale Mexican lager, being in Chula Vista. So it's kind of opening with a bang. It's San Diego. They have to be exciting because these kids nowadays and adults, they want whatever's new, shiny quarter. Like if you're just stale, making the same 4 or 5 beers over and over again, people are going to get bored.
I think it's the idea of creativity, just how you approach beers. Because from the ingredients that you're using, the hops that you're using, the styles that you're making, the building that recipe, we always have, just keep everything clean, nice, tasting crisp. And we use great ingredients, we don't really not spend money on ingredients, we actually do as much as we can to have really good malts, really good hops and everything.
My favorite would be the Needle in the Hay, which was our first beer that we ever did. It's a double IPA, 8.5%. And then probably the second favorite would be our gold medal winning, the Barley Legal. It's our bourbon barrel aged barley wine. It gets some satisfaction at winning those. You're like, our beer is really good, but I think the main satisfaction comes from our friends and fellow people in the industry that really like our beer.
Seeing people happy when they drink our beer. Just seeing people smile and come tell you like, hey man, I really need that beer. It was so good. And it's just, and also, like I said, the creativity and then getting to meet these great people.
It's more than beer. It's an experience. People want to come down and have a good time. So we want to make sure that we stay in tune with what our community wants. In Spanish, it's familia, cerveza, música y fiesta. So that's like our little crest, which means family, music, beer, and party. We throw all that into the blender, and that's what we try to develop here on 3rd Avenue.
Wow, Danielle, Cheryl, one of the coolest lines they said in there, it's more than beer, it's the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I love going to a local place like that, especially for that reason. And the beer it's like small batch, it's small crafted, it just feels like homemade kind of. It just feels like it was made with love.
Oh, nothing better than made with love. And if you want to check this out and get more information on upcoming brews and events, just visit 3punkales.com. And who knows, maybe they have a pumpkin spice one because it is pumpkin season after all. And if you like fall pumpkin festivals, you'll want to stick around to see what's coming up next.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, speaking of being back, ladies, I know you'll be excited about this, especially you, Cheryl. Back by popular demand is the Pumpkin Fest at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess Resort.
That's right. This is one of our favorite resorts here on Main Street Living. And now through Halloween, you can join in on the fun. I got to get out there. Here to join us is Pam Gilbert. She's the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess. Welcome back to Main Street Living. Always good to have you on the show.
Good to see you all. And my friends at Main Street Living are always welcome at the Princess.
Oh, thank you so much. We got to make that happen. And Pumpkin Fest sounds like the perfect time to visit. Tell us all about it.
Well, if you're like me, you're ready to get a little fall immersion. The temperatures are cooling off. Oh, it's beautiful. It's in the 80s now here in Arizona during the day. And in the evenings, it gets even cooler. And it's the perfect time to join us for the cider orchard, where everything apple and, that first taste of crisp cider is so quintessential fall. And then you have our cinnamon roasted pecans. And oh, the smell gets me. I have to get them every time I walk by. And then you go into the Mystic Passage, spooky, with skeletons that are animated and ghosts that are singing and witches that are brewing. And then we have as well the world's oldest bellman there to check you into Hotel Transylvania, and spooky sounds and fog and smoke and lights, and just spooky enough without scaring the little kids.
Ooh.
And it's fun. And then you walk into the pumpkin patch, everything pumpkin. You can pick out your pumpkin to take home and carve and make pumpkin pie, or you also have the opportunity to meet Patches. Patches is our scarecrow, and he's very similar to the scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz, and has a little dance he does with the kids and a great photo op. Speaking of photo ops, lots of photo ops there. Cutest pumpkin in the patch, and the opportunity with our vintage pumpkin truck. And of course, the pie house. Pumpkin pie, pecan pie, apple hot pie, homemade and ready for you to enjoy at the pie house.
Oh, man. Danielle, that's for you. Danielle loves pie.
Okay,
I
well,
love it.
we'll see if we can get you some. And then you go to Jack-o'-lantern Lawn and Lane, and that's where you can sit around the fire pits, roast s'mores with the kids, and then take breaks there as they're breaking from the thrilling rides, the yo-yo. Oh, it's so high and so fast and so fun. And the spider for the older kids. And then for the little kids, the dizzy dragon and a walk through the hay maze. You know, and you can end the night at one of our fabulous restaurants, La Hacienda, our Mexican restaurant, celebrating Day of Dead all month long with great traditional Mexican celebration foods. And our spa, you can get pumpkin facials and warm ginger honey scrubs. It's a wonderful time to enjoy fall at the Princess.
Ooh.
Amazing. And Dia de los Muertos. Wow. Just covering all your bases. I know you mentioned that things are cooling down there as well. Sounds like perfect fire pit weather at night. And Cheryl and I heard that there's a flaming hard cider. We need more details. Tell us about this cider.
Yes. A little whiskey, a little cider, cinnamon and sugar. Around the rim, we flame it. It's warm. It's quintessential fall grown-up drink.
I'm all about the grown-up drinks. I think everybody on this show knows that. So I am down for one of those. And how perfect would it be to drink one of those and watch some fireworks? And you've got some spooky fireworks, don't you?
Oh, every Friday and Saturday night at 8 p.m., our families and couples gather to watch the skies light up with Halloween fireworks, spooky fireworks to enjoy. And that's available all October long. We close on October 31st, and on the 30th, in the same area, we have an adult Halloween party, Hollywood Horror, Nightmare on Princess Drive.
Yes.
Nightmare on Princess Drive. My gosh.
This is so much fun.
So what if you want to make a weekend of it, Pam? Are there any special offers to stay over?
Oh, there are. There's some great rates available. Sip, Savor, and Spice package, where you get $100 credit to enjoy towards food and beverage, or a family package, buy one room, get the second room half price, or one of my favorites, if you're coming maybe from California or outside Arizona, is the buy one, get one night free stay close offer that we have available.
Ooh, all kinds of good stuff going on there. And you also have a contest, right? For social media involving the pumpkin patch?
Absolutely. Here at the Pumpkin Fest, people can take their family photos or the little kids, those precious photos with the pumpkins, or the couples, a romantic. We even had an engagement here recently with the pumpkin patch. And so they can take their photos, tag us at hashtag @theprincess, tag us with Pumpkin Fest, and we will enter you in a weekly contest to win a stay for Christmas at the Princess, opening November 15th this year.
Amazing. Pam, so for more information on the Pumpkin Fest and the fall overnight offers, where can we find that information?
Everything's available at scottsdaleprincess.com/pumpkinfest.
Oh, thanks so much for stopping by again today, Pam. We love having you on Main Street Living.
Thank
so
you.
much fun. We
love
gotta get
Main
out there.
Street.
Yes,
Please,
thank you.
We always have a good time, Cheryl, when we visit with the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess.
Yes.
Just so much fun. But stick with us, because coming up we have some safety tips for little ghosts and goblins.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Ladies, can you believe Halloween is just around the corner?
Oh, it is
No.
flying by. The year is going so
This
fast.
year has been scary enough, to be honest.
Tell me about it. And even though trick-or-treating is not canceled this year, some families are still opting for a safer alternative. So if you're looking to do that, mom blogger Natalia from Vegas Family Guide shares her tips for a spooky good time.
Hello, I'm Natalia, contributor to Vegas Family Guide. With Halloween looking a little different this year, we have some tips for how to celebrate safely and make it a special memory. Trick or treat at home. Dress up and trick or treat to each family member's room or different areas of the house. Have a movie marathon. Let each family member choose their favorite Halloween movie or marathon a series like Addams Family. Have a Halloween party with your social distancing circle. Many of us have a circle of friends or family we've been social distancing with. Invite them over for Halloween treats, music, and games. Make a candy graveyard. This is extra cool because your yard gets decked out for Halloween and gives kids a way to social distance while trick-or-treating in it. Set up fake tombstones in your yard with prizes and candy piled up next to each tombstone. You could have each kid enter the graveyard one at a time and package up candy and prizes into individual treat bags for extra safety. Take the school tradition of costume parties to your neighborhood. Costume wearers take to the street as a catwalk to show off their costumes. You can also decorate bikes, wagons, golf carts, and cars to show off their looks. Have a DIY trunk or treat. Let your kids decorate cardboard boxes to look like their favorite car or character. They can set them up in the living room or backyard and take turns trick-or-treating to each cardboard car. One of our favorite Halloween traditions is perfect for a safe, social distance celebration. Fill a bag or Halloween bucket with goodies and treats, include a boo poem, drop off at your friend's door, ring the bell, and run. Now it's their turn to boo a friend. Instead of stocking up on candy treats, make your own spooky themed desserts. Make ghosts out of lollipops, marshmallows, or string cheese. Oranges can be made into jack-o'-lanterns. With just 3 ingredients, you can make tasty witch hats. And don't forget to make caramel apples. Get into the Halloween spirit using only your sense of touch. Peel grapes for monster eyes, spaghetti noodles are Frankenstein's brains, slime becomes ghost guts. Put each one in a bowl and inside a box with a lid. Each person will take turns closing their eyes and reaching in to experience the spooky sensations and try to guess what each item is. Dress up in your costumes and jump on a Zoom, Google Meet, or FaceTime with your friends. Play the Monster Mash and show off your costumes. You can even award prizes like Best Costume, Most Creative, and Party Favorite. Decorate your car in a costume, coordinate with friends or neighbors, and drive around the neighborhood in a parade. Have a Halloween candy hunt, similar to an Easter egg hunt, but with a Halloween theme. Hide candy around the house or in the yard. Once the kids are in their costumes, let them search for the candy. Whatever you choose to do to celebrate, remember, you're making memories. Even if Halloween looks a little different this year, it's about dressing up and having fun. For more tips like this, check out vegasfamilyguide.com and find your local macaroni kit edition.
Guys, those are some cool ideas. I have to say my favorite is booing your neighbor. Have you guys ever been booed or booed a neighbor?
Not like that.
I've been booed.
Yeah, and I've booed. So maybe I booed Quincy
Oh
accidentally.
no, but it's so fun. You
It was
guys.
you.
No, you got to get
No,
some
Cheryl,
candy, a sign, leave it at their door and run. It's fun to do that. Do it to a neighbor.
it's the movie marathon for me. That's where you'll find me all of
All right.
October.
All right.
Well, for the viewers, you can check out familyvegasevents.com for more ideas during the holiday season. Well, the Halloween season, I should say.
But don't go racing off yet, because next up we're headed to the Main Street America Car Show.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. All right, Danielle, Quincy, you guys know how much I love my car and how well I've taken care of it to get it beyond 350,000 miles now.
Ridiculous.
Well,
Cheryl,
it's not. Still going. Come on.
we're on standby, waiting for that call when you need us, when you need AAA. But today, Cheryl is not the only car enthusiast on the show. We have Chip Fox with the San Diego Corvette Owners Club here to tell us all about some of their latest events and what they're doing to support the community. Welcome to the show, Chip. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, good morning. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate being on the show today and telling you a little bit about the Corvette Owners Club of San Diego.
Yeah, let's start there. So tell us about the club and kind of how it got started, maybe.
Sure. Well, the club was founded in 1958, and it's the longest continuous operating Corvette club in the United States. We have roughly about 250 members, give or take. And like most car clubs, there's a variety of activities that we do. The first thing is that anybody's got a Corvette, you want to take it on a weekend car run. Usually those runs involve, twisty back roads out in the east part of San Diego, dropping out into Borrego Springs, someplace to just have some fun and, be a little wild with your Corvette while being legal, of course, and still have a great time. And it's a great camaraderie building because you really get a chance to meet and talk to other owners and, have a really, really good time. So, we have those fun runs typically every month, sometimes twice a month, depends on what the CANR activities chairman comes up with for us. We have weekend trips that we do a lot of. We go up to Monterey. Sometimes the guys will take their cars and go on Laguna Seca. Some also play golf. Some just like to hang out and enjoy the Monterey Peninsula. We'll go up to Hearst Castle. And then one of the big events that we do is go to the Long Beach Grand Prix up in every year. And there's a big Corvette car corral that those of us that go up, we get some special parking that we can go to up there. So those are some of the activities that we do. Like any club, we have a variety of social functions too. We have a monthly meeting with a social hour at one of the local restaurants in Kearny Mesa. There's a variety of, we have an anniversary party every year, typically have a holiday party. And then, the picnics and beach access that we do. COVID has obviously made a lot of this a little more challenging in the last 18 months. But we have a really great president, Gail Carson, and her husband, Ken, have done, a yeoman's job, and that's being understating it, to help keep the club together and keep activities planned for people that, as you might guess, with 250 members, we have a variety of people that are really, really anxious to get out, and some people that don't want to get out based on a whole host of reasons. So we try and accommodate everybody. And then the biggest thing that we do is is community involvement. We do three main things there. We participate in a lot of local parades, and hoping that will kick in 2022 again. We are the official car for the St. Patrick's Day parade that all the dignitaries and people around. We participate in the Christmas parade in La Jolla. We do and actively go to a whole bunch of car shows as well as host our own. And then one of the things that I really like to do is we do a lot of high school homecomings where we'll shuttle around the king and queen and their court through pregame and halftime activities, which is always
so fun.
Yeah, that's really a lot of fun. We just did one down in Chula Vista a couple of weeks ago. We had 9 of us that were down there and just had an awesome time. It was great. So those are some of the things that we do. I mean, as far as a club, and we through COVID have been able to, I think stay reasonably active. Where many clubs have kind of, closed shop and just kind of shut down for a period of time, we have
Yeah.
to do our best to remain active and provide anyone that wants the opportunity to get out, that they can get out and do things. And the car runs especially have been great. We've had some runs where we've had as many as 40 cars on a run. Try and keep 40 cars together on a twisty, turny road so that everybody knows where they're going. But that's people wanted to get out, and it's a great way to social distance and have a good time without being in the same room with everybody.
So sorry to interrupt you, but like Corvette is already, just a historic brand of car. Now you guys hold many events, but you guys got a really big event that's coming up, the Main Street America Car Show. So tell us what that event is like.
Yeah, good question, Quincy. So the Main Street America Car Show is one of the biggest car shows that's held in San Diego. We hold it at the down behind Seaport Village at the Embarcadero. We typically every year can sell out at 350 plus cars. And when we did the show in July, we had just 350 cars, and it runs the gamut from the variety of cars that you'll see from, the Lowrider Club, the Miata Club, the Corvette Club, the Mopar Club, the Ferrari Club, you'll see street rods. You'll see anything and everything at our car show. And it's a great opportunity to walk around because you can walk around on the grass at Seaport Village. We have food. This year we had 2 food trucks that were there. We have a band that plays. We give out prizes that are voted on by the participants in a variety of different car categories. This year was really challenging because that property belongs to the Port of San Diego, and so they had had a moratorium on events down there, and we didn't know until 2 months before the actual car show that we were given approval to move ahead with the show. But Craig Moya, who has done this show for us many years, he is so organized and had a great committee put together that we were able to pull this off with a great efficiency, had a great turnout, had a lot of people, and so we're very successful in that. And we were all totally surprised that we were able to do it inside of that time frame. And it was just got a great group of volunteers and Craig's leadership that provided us the opportunity to put on a really great car show again.
So cool, Chip. So obviously the car show is really fun to watch, but it's also for a very good cause. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we support the San Diego Center for the Blind. All the proceeds that we make off the car show goes to support that organization. They're out in El Cajon. We provide a check to them every year for somewhere between $12,000 to $14,000 that supports their programs. And they're a participant in our car show every year with a booth there. And it's a great organization, fully supported by our club. And that's one of our key community involvement partners is the San Diego Center for the Blind.
Awesome. Chip, thanks so much. We are running short on time here. I want to make sure people can find more information. And also for those of us who didn't get to attend the show this year, we are in luck because it's going to be featured on our sister Yearview show, Driven, later this season. Where can people find more information about all this?
The COCSD website, cocsd.com. It's our website for the club. You'll see a list of activities and all the things that we do there posted on the website.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I can tell you are an enthusiast and you love the Corvette, the great American car. So thank you again, my man.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure all the Corvette fans are probably drooling right now, such as myself. But after the break, the rest of you may be drooling over what's coming up. Trust me, it's so much more than just a hot dog, I promise.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Quincy, Danielle, what started off as a dream can turn into a reality, and it did so for Barrio Dog.
That's right, Charlotte. Now off the heels of surviving during the pandemic, they're swinging for the fences as their continued success hits it out of the park, literally. Well, almost literally. Check it out.
I think the last time you were here, we had just opened up the tap room. We had just joined both sides, and we had a lot of plans for Barrio Dog moving forward, and we still do. But obviously, the pandemic, slowed things down. We were months prior to you being here. We were working on Tokyo. We were working on out-of-state projects, and then the last project that we were working on was Petco Park. We did a concert for Petco Park in November of 2019, and that kind of sparked our interest as to, hey, you know what, this is something that we really want to do. So we set up a meeting with them. They loved Barrio Dog. They gave us the opportunity to come in and build a Barrio Dog inside of Petco Park. March of 2020, we had completed the Barrio Dog project inside of Petco Park, and we were super excited to open up our first season. And March 16th comes along, and it's like if the carpet gets pulled out from under you, right? We obviously had to make changes, but the good thing about Barrio Dog is that we're resilient. We learned to shift and pivot during that time, and really go back to the mentality of how we started. We had to remember, hey, we started off with a hot dog cart. We started off in front of an art gallery. So there's nothing that they're gonna be able to throw at us that's gonna stop us. So thank God that we were able to stay open the entire pandemic, and we didn't have to let anybody go. We just learned how to trim and be slim and be tight. And then we had a great support from our community, from the city, from visitors. So it gave us the energy we needed to just go through it. So coming into 2021, we were excited to be able to come into Petco Park, but we still didn't know what it was gonna look like. So we came in and we brought in the hot dog cart. They told us that they were gonna start off with limited capacity. They only started off with 15,000 fans. So we brought out the original hot dog cart that we started with in the art gallery to Petco Park. That was an opportunity for us to get to know people, put the name out there, and then slowly but surely they started to open up more capacity, and on June 17th we were able to open up our permanent location on the terrace level. Well, I think it's a surprise for a lot of people who are visiting San Diego to get to taste the flavors of San Diego, right? Because I think every ballpark has its own flavor, its own distinct style of doing things. And what better than Barrio Dog, the Chicano flavor? We're a cross-border city, right? Our flavor meshes are expressed in our hot dogs. And now to get people to try that, it's an awesome opportunity. The other thing that I like is that we have people who are from here, San Diego, who are now able to go into Petco Park and have Barrio Dog. Our goal coming in was to be the best hot dog that you can find in San Diego, obviously, but in Major League Baseball, right? So the Cholito is what people are being drawn to, and for us, it's a great way to spotlight what Barrio Dog does. So San Diego Magazine just voted us best restaurant in Petco Park, which is a huge accomplishment for the team, because that's one of the things that was one of the hurdles that we had to overcome in growing, is making sure that you have strong teams. And so the team that we built at Petco Park was able to get us that accolade in the first year. So Barrio Dog, obviously, we're growing inside of Petco Park in itself. I see more locations inside of Petco Park in the future, but for us, we want to expand. We have a vision to take Barrio Dog to other barrios all over the nation. And so there's places like San Antonio, there's places like Tucson, Arizona, there's places like Northern California that we have on our radar. And as we finish up the season, we'll be more active in that. I just want to thank all the fans' support, everybody who's been supporting us throughout this pandemic. I know that people have choices of where to eat. I want people to always have the Barrio Dog experience of wherever they're at. So that's our main focus, that no matter what type of climate we're in, no matter what's going on in the world, people have a place to come and enjoy a good hot dog.
Wow, that is so cool, ladies. It looks like I need to go visit San Diego to get a taste of what it tastes like, because I've never seen a hot dog like that. It looks like a cheesesteak.
And I just think it's cool that they're so focused on expanding right now. It feels like so many of us have just been in maintenance mode lately, and it's nice to finally start to see people really starting to get their wheels turning. So make sure you check out barriodog.com for all the latest information. Coming up next, we'll have more Main Street Living. back into Main Street Living. Quincy, Cheryl, I was just thinking back to our costumes last year for the show. I can't wait to see what we come up with this year.
Oh, it's going to be so fun. I love dressing up for Halloween.
Oh yeah, I forgot what we were, but I'm sure if you wanted to find that out, you can always check us out on our Cox Contour app, that episode and many more.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we have brand new episodes of Main Street Living Mondays, 9 p.m. local time. So join us then as we take another stroll down Main Street.